Today was a sad day, and I don't care who you are. As long as you're a football fan, today was a sad day. Because you could be the biggest Cristiano Ronaldo fan on the planet, or you could be running a messy Twitter propaganda page, pushing an agenda that really doesn't need to be pushed anymore. Or you could have been just out there hate-watching Portugal versus Slovenia, wishing on Cristiano Ronaldo's downfall. You could have been hoping that Cristiano Ronaldo scores a hat-trick and leads them to another Euros final like he did back in 2016. It doesn't matter what perspective you have. Today was a sad day because during this match, when Cristiano Ronaldo did not play particularly well, he dropped a stinker, to say it that way. It was sad because even if you've already had this opinion, even if you are on Twitter pushing this agenda that Cristiano Ronaldo's past it, he's too old, he can't keep up anymore, he's just not the same player that led them to the Euros final in 2016. He doesn't have it anymore. In fact, maybe he's not the one leading them to the final. Maybe his team is the one leading him to this final. This Portugal team looks great, but today, in a nail-biter of a match that could have gone either way, and a match that went literally to penalties, the hero was not Cristiano Ronaldo. The hero was Diogo Costa. He made a save on Sesko late in extra time that saved them. Reminds me of the save that Dibu Martinez made for Argentina in the World Cup final that saved them and let them go to penalties, though it's not the World Cup and it's not the finals yet of Euros. But it was Dibu Martinez-esque from Diogo Costa, and then he went on to save not just the first, not just the second, but all three of Slovenia's penalties. Diogo Costa saved. That is witchcraft. That is insanity. And something happened in that match beforehand. Before it led to this, because it was before Diogo Costa made that save. It was before Diogo Costa led them to the win in penalties. It was earlier in extra time when Portugal were given a penalty. And of course, who else but Cristiano Ronaldo to step up to the plate? And it wasn't even really a bad penalty, but Oblak got to it. And it kept the game at 0-0. It was a test of goalkeepers on this day. And it's not like this is the first bad performance that Cristiano Ronaldo's ever had. Everybody has bad performances. Messi, Ronaldo, whoever. But today was the first glimpse that we ever saw that Cristiano Ronaldo might actually be acknowledging the test of time. Because after he missed that penalty and they huddled up at halftime of extra time, the camera panned to him and Cristiano Ronaldo was in tears. It shows how much he still cares. But for somebody with as big of an ego, with the competitiveness of Cristiano Ronaldo, it's rivaled by pretty much none. His competitiveness is just unbelievable, and it's what drove him to be as good of a player as he was. You just don't expect it from Cristiano Ronaldo, and it was almost like a metaphor for the end of an era. And you can say that the end of the era was when he left for Juventus, or the end of the era was when Messi left for PSG or Inter Miami, or when Ronaldo went to Saudi Arabia, or when Messi won the World Cup. What is the end of this era? An era of the two greatest players of all time. I won't hear otherwise. The two greatest players of all time going at it on rival teams for most of their career with Barcelona and Real Madrid, dominating the sport for just about 2 decades. That longevity where it's the same two players, in their own words, sharing the stage. It'll never happen again. It's the greatest rivalry in the history of the sport, and it probably will be forever, because the idea that two players just actively are going head-to-head like that for as long as they did, it's just not sustainable. It shouldn't have been sustainable in the first place. It won't happen again. Sure, there might be players that have careers maybe as good as Messi and Ronaldo in the future. We see players like Mbappe or Erling Haaland already, performing at such high levels. But to have the exact same two players so consistently for 2 decades, I don't see that ever happening again. And today was the end of that era. Because despite the fact that Portugal went on to the next round, and Cristiano Ronaldo did score his penalty when it went to penalties. Cristiano Ronaldo, for the first time, maybe acknowledged that he's just not the same player he once was. And to see him cry, no matter what side of the fence you're on in this debate on who's the greatest of all time, that's sad to see, because it's over now. And it doesn't really matter who you have as your greatest of all time or not. I'm not here to push that debate. I'm here to kind of announce the fact that it's just over, is that they're no longer at the top. And this Cristiano Ronaldo that led Portugal to the Euros final in 2016 is now being led to the finals, hopefully, for Portugal in 2024. Cristiano Ronaldo is not the main factor of this team. Diogo Costa was the hero today. There are players on this squad that are playing much better than Cristiano Ronaldo. In fact, there may be better strikers on their bench. It's up for debate. Either way, there's a lot of people that, of course, think that Cristiano Ronaldo should hang up the boots, say, hey, you know, it's maybe time to retire from the national team and collect the check in Saudi Arabia. I don't think that Cristiano Ronaldo is that kind of person. He's too much of a competitor, all right? And he's obviously still got a lot of records that he wants to break or keep up with or continue on Lionel Messi's pace, as he is 2 years older than Messi, so Messi maybe has a little bit more time left to extend these records. He doesn't want to retire before Messi. He's too competitive. He cares too much about these records, even if it's individual records and maybe not team trophies anymore. What we saw today was the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo cares about this tournament, and he cares about Portugal still just like he did 8 years ago, but he just doesn't have what it takes anymore, and that led him to tears. And that is just brutal to see. It's the end of the era, and I don't know what football is like without it, because I started watching football when Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi were kind of already starting to get to the top. And so we're entering an era of football where in just about 2 years' time, both Messi and Ronaldo will have been retired. They will be. And we'll have football without them completely. Completely. And we're going to look back on these times where Messi versus Ronaldo was all over social media and the friend groups and the arguments and the debates, and then we're going to look back and think, wow, why didn't we appreciate both of them more at the exact same time? That's not to say that you have to have two GOATs. Of course, there can only be one greatest of all time. That's the point of it. But it doesn't mean you have to hate the other one. And today, even though I've made this pretty publicly clear before, I do think Lionel Messi is the greatest player of all time. I'm so sad to see Cristiano Ronaldo just in the state that he currently is. I don't know if there's a better way to put that, or maybe it's harsh to say. Still, I've always been a bit of a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, even though I'm also a Messi fan. You don't have to hate one of them to love the other. And now it's over. And we're going to look back on this in a few years and think, wow, we were blessed. What an era of sport.